Yep, let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Ooh.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Well, no, I don't want to destroy the bucket. It's talking to me. If I destroy the bucket, does that mean it's gone next time?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him
if
that
the bucket gets destroyed,
was simply the place to be.
I assume the new content
and here
stuff
it
will come
was.
back.
Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room. And so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
So we'll see our friends again. Broom closet, baby.
Guess what the bucket destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Goodbye, bucket. Oh! It won't let me!
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this.
Put it in!
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans what they want. Hurry and...
I tried. That's the only interact button I have when trying to crush the bucket. I think what I'll do next is I'll try do blue door, red door with the bucket if I haven't already done that. I don't think I have. I feel like I would remember if I have when we get there, so. Blue door, red door, and that might even be one of those collectibles, because what we did is we did the one in the crate,
all of his co-workers
and
were gone.
we got the one
What
near
could
the
it mean?
vent, I think.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Bucket?
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
Yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else.
Yeah,
the cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay, so the bucket didn't ask me to do this. So what's going to change?
No, stop! Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point.
I see.
Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Do I have to? I want to take my bucket this way. There's no blue door, red door here. Alright, fine. Let's see what the narrator's got in store for us. Okay. Is this a bucket?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Yes.
Item 1. Is this a bucket? Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Probably.
Incorrect. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
How are you supposed to tell what is a bucket,
Item
what is
3. Is this a bucket?
I'm just going to say yes to everything.
Correct. This is a bucket.
What happens if you get that one wrong?
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
I feel like the answer is going to be yes.
Yes.
No.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
Alright.
Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Do I have to say yes again?
Yes.
Fine, I'll say yes again.
Correct. This is a bucket.
I thought the tricking you thing would happen first, not second.
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
I think I've said yes every single time, actually.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
Can't answer both, though.
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
I guess I'll say yes.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I'll keep going with the greens.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No!
Okay.
My bucket!
Here we go.
I'm not going to get it to start with again.
What happened?
Oh.
Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes.
Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Okay, so this is where I can see lots of other endings coming into play, where you answer the "is this a bucket" question different times for different things, and whether he resets the game to say, "Oh yeah, nothing's a bucket," you answer that correctly. Well, let's find out. I was half expecting everything to be buckets here, but let's go on.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Well, there's my bucket.
Ah, the embrace of an old friend, a weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
Yep, and no adventure line going through here, so let's carry on. No new content door.
Stanley clutched the bucket
this
tightly
way?
to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
Nope,
No,
not correct.
Never mind.
So let's play the
was
bucket game
wrong.
show one more time.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I imagine the answers to the
No,
game show
said
don't
the bucket.
matter that
Don't
much.
go to the
It'll
meeting
probably
room.
be just,
Go somewhere else.
it leads you to the
cargo
same
lift,
ending.
yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
We'll see.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I
don't
need
think
you
I've
to
fallen off
do.
with my bucket yet.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Alright, so let's hope the game show thing kicks in pretty quickly.
No,
buckets.
stop! Look there on the wall, you see? There's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to
It
this
would
point.
indeed.
Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please,
This
step in
way.
here for a moment.
So it should be not a bucket, not a bucket, bucket, not a bucket. I'll say not a bucket, even though it was a bucket.
Now
And then he's not a bucket.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
You'd think, but I have a feeling he might change the answers. Is this a bucket?
Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Wait.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
This is the actual bucket.
Correct. This is a bucket.
Hello, tractor.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a tractor and not a bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Is it also a tractor? Okay.
Is this a bucket?
I feel like if I get all the answers correct, that will lead to something different if I say this one isn't a bucket as well. But I'm going to say, yeah, let's do all correct.
Correct. This is a bucket.
So,
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
was this a bucket? Oh, it's the gotcha, it's both.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Not a bucket.
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here. Of course it isn't a bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true. Unless... Is that what you think? Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
I think I said yes last time, so I'll say no this time.
You know what? I'm too confused.
Same
to even
answer,
sort it
doesn't
out.
matter what you said.
I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
I said he was, but
Stanley,
he's not.
I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our
You didn't
relationship
even let
apart.
me answer.
I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game
All
entirely. Okay, here we go.
So, some minor dialogue changes, but not an actual different ending.
What
okay.
happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket?
Yes, it
Every
was.
single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue. But it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what. I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, Here we go.
Alright, so the plan for now is do the bucket, go to the boss's office, do the up, down, up, down, up, down. Then, after that ending, do the boss's office, go into the escape room, do the bad ending, which is the escape room. Then do the normal
Just
ending.
a step
but
through this
not
door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay.
The bucket made Stanley want to be a better man and a better co-worker. In time, perhaps, he would become both of those things.
In time. But how much time? So, yeah, left path this time.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. So, meeting room, mission status is updated. Somewhere both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace, a private but smelly place for an important person. Right, so we go this way. And we're going up.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright. A smelly place. Executive bathroom. Ta-da!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley?
Figlies!
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Figlies! Money in the morning, money in the evening. Money for breakfast, money crisp. Okay. So we got the Figly. I guess that's it. And then we'll try going to the right. Okay. Alright, so last time going in the lift didn't do anything. It just played some music. Try this time. I mean, it's very nice lift music, but I kind of do want to get somewhere, and this is just shaking around. So, yeah. Alright, let's get out. Nothing changed. This way.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Yep, I think I'll leave it this time. See what the narrator says. I am enthralled by the bucket.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Okay, that was separate to knowing the bucket.
2845.
Uh-huh. It's weird, you can almost tell the old voice lines. Because the game should do it for me. Eventually.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, that's an old voice line playing, because it's not mentioning the bucket at all, but you can also tell it sounds different. Alright, down we go. And then we've got to do the up, down, up, down, up, down. I wonder if the press conference will even mention the bucket.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Right, I'm going to step out to see what's different, if anything. If nothing's different...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
So, nothing different, which is fine. That's good to confirm, though. So, up we go.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Okay, we didn't press the number 3.
Bucket said nothing.
In fact, we didn't press the number 3 the first time. 2845 doesn't have 3 in it. Do I have to press the number 3? Let's go.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over.
Now I don't want to. Just to see what the narrator says.
After taking some time to show the bucket around the boss's office, Stanley at last went to the keypad, where he began eagerly pressing the number 3 again and again.
Just 3333? Would that work? I don't know, because there'll be a difference between doing that and then just going straight up, down, up, down, up, down. I don't think I can do 666 because that's not a 4-digit code. Narrator's not kicked in yet either. See, showing the bucket around the office is an indefinite period of time, so... Alright. You win this time, narrator. 3, 3, 3, 3. Ah, didn't do anything. Maybe try again.
Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him? Once Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Ah, okay. So chances are there is no functional difference. Yeah, 2845 doesn't do anything. Just keep going with number 3. How many times can we do it before Stanley gets bored? Or rather, before I, the player, get bored. Yeah. I was wondering if something else was going to open up, but it doesn't seem like anything is, so... I think maybe one more time? One more time. Yep, nothing new. Alright, so it's up, down, up, down. Let's go, go, go.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
It is a bucket. Can it recognize joy?
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Wasn't expecting it to get interrupted.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Here we go. Da, 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 da.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears, and the whole time he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind, anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all, only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
So yeah, pressing 3333 doesn't actually matter. It's just the narrator has what he's going to say. He's reading from his script, and he will not deviate from that script unless I interrupt him. So, yeah, let's go back.